Welcome to today's lesson on direct and inverse proportion, where in our first two videos on this topic, we looked at how we can use magic triangles, a different magic triangle for each one to help solve these problems. And what we've got to find is this magical thing called K, then we use it. So let's have a look at some questions and see how we get on. Okay, first question here. P is the pressure, and it's inversely proportional to the square of our pipe. So if we look, we can use the inverse magic triangle where K is at the top. We're going to put P in the left-hand side, and because it's R squared, we put that on the right-hand side. So if you want to have a go at this, then pause the video. Then once you're happy, we'll go and show you the answer. Right, now we want to look at our answer, and we've got to start looking at the numbers that we've been given. So we know that P is 22.5. We know R's 2, so we're going to have 4 of them. So we got our calculator out and go 4 times 22.5. We're going to get 90. So what we've done is we've discovered that K is 90. So what we've said is that P is inversely proportional to R squared. So we're going to rewrite that as P equals K over R squared. But we now know that K is 90. So on our answer line for our formula, we can write P is 90 over R squared. Then what we now do is use K. So we know that that's 90, so put 90 in there. R is 1.5, so that's going to be 2.25. And that's going to mean P is 40. So P is 40. Okay, I hope you got that right. I hope by now you're beginning to see how we use the magic triangles and how relatively easy it is. The key skill we're using here is substitution. Close our drawings. Look at our next question. Right, so on this question, we're looking at the photograph. So read the question, look at the triangles, and so pause the video. Now you might not want to use triangles, but they're there to help you. And so once you're happy, then restart the video and we'll look at the answers. So let's put our numbers into the calculator. Now T is 0.02 and F is 8, so F squared has got to be 64. And what we've got to do is find K. Now notice because it's directly proportional, the K is down here now. So if we do on our calculator, literally do 0.02 divided by 64, what we get is 3. So we get 3.125 times 10 to the minus 4. But we might actually want to use the fraction version, which is 1 over 3,200. So our formula is going to be T is directly proportional to F squared. So T is K F squared. So T is 1 over 32 F squared. Next one, T is quite small here. So if we divide it by 32 over 0, then we'll find out what F squared is. So we just do 0.0098 divided by the answer we had from before. And what we get is, we get F squared is 784 over 25. So we square root that. We're going to be able to find what F is. And it's going to be 28 over 5, which is a decimal, is 5.6. But you can leave the answer as a fraction or a decimal. It just wants to know the value, and both of them are equally good ways of writing that value. So let's move on to have another look at the next example. So again, let's just move that up there so you can actually see it. All right. I've drawn the triangles for you. You may want to use them. You may not want to use them. But pause the video, have a go, and then when you're happy, let's go and see what the answer looks like. Right, so in this case, F is inversely proportional to the square of D. So because it's inversely proportional, K is at the top. We'll put F on the left-hand side of the triangle, bottom left, and we're going to put D squared on the bottom right. So when D is 2, we know that D squared is going to be 4. Oh, let's change our colour, makes it red so it might be easier to see. So D squared is 4. F is 12. So 4 times K, nice easy number, 48. So what we have to write is, because the way they've told us, we say, well, look, F is inversely proportional to D squared. So we change the proportional 1 into a equals K. But we know what K is because we found it over there. So on the answer line, we can write F is 48 over D squared. And that is a nice 3 marks. We like it. So when we come down here, D is 5. So D squared is 25. That's going to be 48. And so all we've got to do is 48 divided by 25. Is 1.29. 1.92, sorry about that. So F equals 1.92 when D equals 5. Okay, on the next one, we'll let you decide whether you want to draw triangles, do whichever way you like, and let's see how you get on. Because hopefully by now you picked up the pattern. Right, let's have a clear, so we can have a go at that one. So let me just move that so we can actually see what we're doing. So pause the video. Once you've got your answer, check the answer. Okay, I'll be using magic triangles because it's inversely proportional to the square of x. We've got k at the top, f and x squared down at the bottom of the triangle. Let's put the numbers in. So an x is 25. That's 0.8. So we get the calculator out now. All we've got to do is 0.8 times 25, and that's going to give us 20. So we know k is 20. But what it wants is a formula. But what it's told us in the question is f is inversely proportional to x squared. So we can change the proportional to 1 into equals k. But we know that k is 20, so what we put on the answer line is f equals 20 over x squared. And again, a nice 3 marks. Second half of the question, we know k is 20, so we put that in there. Oh, f is 320 now. So if we do 20 divided by 320, we're going to get 1 over 16. But that's x squared, so x squared is 1 over 16. So x, we have to square root it, is 1 over 4. Okay, hopefully by now you'll realize that these questions don't really change a lot in the way they're asked. It's very much a formalistic one. You've got to know the trick. Now, once you've got that, you should be able to nail this and get 5 marks. And this is roughly 2.5% of the paper. And it's on 90% of the papers. Therefore, it's a trick well worth mastering. And I hope that you're comfortable with it now. And I hope that when you have the paper, if the question like this is on there, that you'll tackle it confidently, accurately, and get all of these marks. Thank you for listening.